Bolt.new is a new AI agent to build web applications, and it's created by Stackless, the company that creates in-browser IDE. What separates Bolt.new from all the other AI agents is the fact that it gives you access to all the project files, not just the TSX file or JSX file that it generates, but it also gives you access to files such as package.json or everything else that needs to run that project. So in this video, I'm going to try to create an instant clone using bolt.new without writing a single line of code. I'll be using Supabase as a backend. I'll be using its database, auth, and storage to handle image uploads. It might work, it might not. Let's see how I do. So we have come into bolt.new. If you don't know how to get here, it's literally bolt.new. So let's get started. To get started, I'm just gonna start with something like create on Instagram clone. And let's see how well it can handle this very, not so specific prompt. But generally, I've been using bolt.new for some time, and it does really well with these clone prompts. It's able to create a nice looking app that looks very similar to the whatever the original one is. And you can see all the files being generated, which is very nice. It creates a nice file structure. Instead of like cramming everything into a single file, it creates, the sidebar.tsx or header.tsx, even feed.tsx. So it creates a more realistic, project file structure for the application that we are running. And I believe at the moment it's spinning the local environment up. And there you go. Okay, great. I think we have a really great solid place to get started with. So we have a nice UI of Instagram. We have some headers, icons going on. Let's see if I can like it. It doesn't look like I can like the things or press on any of the buttons yet, but that's okay. That's okay. I think this is still a very solid starting point. So at this point, what we want to do is fix up a few little things here and there, and let's not worry about the images not showing up. Some AI agents have, built-in placeholder images, but they're just placeholders. Eventually, we'll hook up Supabase to this, so we're not going to worry too much about, the image being broken. But we can get started with, let's see, let's remove the likes count because the Instagram doesn't display the number of likes anymore. So, looks great. Get rid of the likes count. Instagram doesn't show the count of likes anymore. What else can we fix? Let's tell it to make all the buttons functional. On each post, make the buttons functional. The likes and comments should work as well as the share button and the bookmark button. Also, I believe doesn't have any comments whatsoever, right? Maybe it does and it's not showing it to us, but let's see. So what's nice is we can always take a look at the code, and currently it's just statically displaying this demo data that has an ID username, avatar. Okay, so this is about the sidebar. Let's see the post. Maybe the feed has the demo data. Okay, yeah, so this is a feed, right? Likes is statically code. Everything is statically code. There's nothing about comments, so let's add that as well. Let's see, allow comments to be added to each post. There should be a text field at the bottom of the post to add new comments. Pressing the comment icon on the post should reveal the comments. Also add a comment count right next to the comments icon. So what I'm telling it is it should display the number of comments right next to the comment icon. What else can we fix in this one shot? Maybe that's about it. Yeah, let's see how this goes first. And maybe after this we can take care of the headers. But yeah, the idea is we will work on fixing, making the app work locally with all the dummy data that's hard coded. And then once we're happy with the UI and how all the application works, we will connect Supabase to it. And I guess that's it. Yeah. So yeah, create a beautiful UI that works, add all the features, connect Supabase, done. And that's kind of how I typically go about creating a fresh application back in the day when, AI coding wasn't a thing. I would start with making everything work locally and then connect a backend to it. So let's see. Okay, so I can like this post. I can, let's see, sample. Hi there. Did that go? Okay, so the comment is there, which is great. Yeah, okay. So I guess it's working. Bookmark, at least it's doing that. Okay, so it's sharing the post through alert, which is fine. I'm not too worried about sharing the post. I probably wouldn't go deep in that even after connecting Supabase. I feel like that's outside of the scope. But if we take a look at the, let's see, post.tsx, which I believe contains the code for each individual posts, there's handle like method, which is passed from its parent, which I believe is the head, no, feed.tsx. And maybe it's all coming from app.tsx. Okay, so app.tsx is loading the feed, and the feed has the post, and post has the handle like. Okay, so I missed that. It's just calling set state locally. So okay, set liked, which is great. Okay, so now at this point, all these likes, comments even, I believe, is just stored locally, right? Let's see, comments. New comment, set new comment. Okay, so what I want to do at this point is we have the dummy data in this feed, right? I might want to update this to include all the likes and comments in here so that eventually when we connect to Supabase, we can just load everything from our database. That'll replace this dummy data, and then we can display the post and update the state and whatnot. So let's try to do that. Make the dummy posts data a state variable. Then add the likes and comments into the same variable as well, and have the post display the likes count and the list of comments from the passed down state variable. So the idea is make this a state variable so that we can update it dynamically, and then have the post load those variables instead of keeping those likes and comments locally here. I guess bookmark. I'm not gonna worry too much about the bookmark feature in this demo, just because it's kind of similar to likes and it's less interesting. So yeah, I guess we can do this. What else can we improve? We're gonna worry about headers later maybe. So let's just do this. It's cooking. Okay, it's going. I feel like the hard thing about coding with these AI agents these days is it kind of takes some time. It takes like, 20, 30 seconds for the AI agent to kind of complete writing the code. And I tend to like, check my Twitter and then kind of don't come back for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, which is, I don't know if that's being, productive or not. But let's see. Let's see how it does. So we have number of likes being displayed. And if I press this like button, Okay, it increments the like count, which is great, and it has some dummy comment data as well. Hi there. If I submit a new comment, it's displaying right there, which is great. It's working great. And let's just check the code just in case. So in the tsx file, we have the comments, likes, and I guess if we take a look at the posts, we now have handle like, which takes a own like, which is passed from the parent. And I presume in the parent, I guess that's the feed, we have handle like and handle comment function, which takes care of updating the state. Great. Everything is working perfectly. Perhaps too perfect. Wow, I'm really impressed how well it's able to write all that code. Let's see, what else can we do at this point? Is we can take care of the header. So let's first worry about signing in. So in this video, as I said in the beginning, I want to use Supabase auth to properly authenticate the user. To do that, we want to handle authentication. So what I want to do here is we're still not going to implement Supabase auth yet, but we are going to make it so that once a non-sign-in user clicks on things like likes or comments or tries to post something, which I guess we don't have that feature yet, they are taken to a sign-in screen and they have to log in or sign up in order to proceed with the liking the post or posting a comment or posting a post. So, okay, let's take care of those two things, creating a new post and also logging in. So, okay, looks great. When a user clicks on the add button in the header, they should be able to compose a new post. Also, when a non-sign-in user performs an action that requires authentication, such as like, comment, or creating a new post, they should be presented with a login dialog where the user can log in with email and password. The user should also be able to sign up if they do not have an account yet. We will implement proper authentication later. So for now, just keep the state locally. Hopefully this does it. Let's see if I missed something. Okay. Yeah, let's see if that does it. Well, another thing that I wanted to mention is I'm probably going to run into the limits of the free tier of bolt.new. So yeah, once I hit that limit, I'll keep that in screen and we'll know what the limit of the free tier is. And so far I'm really impressed with what it's able to do, and I still haven't hit the limit yet. So yeah, let's see how far we can get with that. And yeah, if we don't have to pay, that's great. But yeah, once we hit the free tier limit, I'll kind of stop there and then I'll come back after adding money, and then yeah, we can proceed and complete the entire thing, creating a full Instagram clone. I'm really excited. I'm really impressed with the quality of the application that it's outputting. Okay, so we have some authentication action going on, which is great. So it's doing this, that. Does it automatically refresh my? Okay, it does. Okay, so if I press like, what is this? It's a dialogue. That does not look good. Let's see. If I try to compose a new post, so it creates a dialog down there. That is that is a bit sad. Auth modal. Wonder if I gave the wrong prompt because all of a sudden it has like no styling whatsoever and it's just looks off from all the other components. So okay, instead of an auth modal, the user should be taken to a sign up login page when they need to. I feel like things like this do happen when you're working with AI technologies. It seems like, everything's going great. And then all of a sudden there's like this, I don't know what it is, but like certain weak points that these AI, large language models have that all of a sudden cannot produce the high quality outputs that they were putting out before that one little thing that that kind of does it. So I don't know what exactly was the trigger. Maybe it was the word modal. Did I say dialogue modal? Whatever it was. But yeah, hopefully we can get that one fixed up and get back to creating a nice looking Instagram clone. But yeah, that's all part of the journey, right? So now it's creating the auth page. It's keeping the auth modal. We don't need that anymore, so we can get rid of that, but that's all right. Okay, updating package.json. Great. It is done updating everything. So let's see if we can properly sign in with a decent UI. Let's hit refresh. The development service should restart automatically with these changes. You can now test the new authentication flow in the preview. Let's give it a minute. Okay, so I guess it's not happening. So you know what? That's all right. Let's do this. Let's undo this change. Revert now. And then let's undo the previous change as well. So let's see. This is when a user clicks on add. Okay, yeah. So let's undo this change as well and go back to the state that we had a nicely working application. So at this point, we should be able to, let me hit refresh of the entire page. Git ignore, components, feed, header, post, sidebar. Okay, great. So we are back in the working state, right? Hi there. Okay, and I guess we have 1K daily tokens remaining. I'm not sure how much tokens each run uses, but I'm assuming it's a lot. So maybe we have like one last shot for within the free tier. So let's see. So what we can do is maybe we can take care of the adding post feature first, and then let's worry about authentication later after that. So once the user clicks on the add button on the header, the user should be able to create a new post. And I feel like sometimes a key to these, handling large language models to write code is kind of be ambiguous instead of trying to be specific. And it really depends on what kind of the exact use case is. But I have a feeling that what screwed up this tool with the previous prompting is that I was kind of bit too specific. I went into like, you should have an email plus password sign in. There should be a sign up button, a sign up flow in the case where your user doesn't have an account. I feel like large language models generally know these stuff and it's able to handle it if I just tell it to create a login feature. Instead of telling it to create a login modal that does this and that, I feel like I should have just been like, add a login feature when a user tries to like something or does something. And okay, so I guess it got rid of all the default dummy data, but that's okay. So we have an image URL and caption section. So sample caption, it's not gonna let me post without an image URL, huh? So let's see, let's get a cat image. It's a cute cat. Yeah, that. Copy image address in, paste, boom. Okay, great. We have a nice working feed that we can comment on, and it all works. Great. That's awesome. Now let's add login feature. You've used all your remaining tokens. So I guess that's the limit of the free tier, which is great. And it's the limit, daily limit of the free tier, right? So if we don't want to pay them, we can just sit here, wait till tomorrow, and then come back and get the rest of the applications done. But we're not going to do that. We are going to sign up for the pro memberships and kind of complete this application till the end. So I'll be back soon. Okay, so we are back. And now at this point, we are going to work on authentication. And we're still not going to add Supabase yet, but try to kind of replicate this authentication without having a server. So add auth, and I also want to add some demo data by default, which is kind of nice. So have some dummy posts on the initial state. Also, add authentication when a non-sign-in user performs like, comment, or post, they should be required to log in. Create a sign up /login form for them. I think this is like the right amount of ambiguousness, not too specific, but has generally like a human could understand the context and kind of create something out of it. If human could do that, then AI could probably do that as well. So let's see if this can do the magic without screwing up the application like the previous attempt. So yeah, earlier we just saw a user state as well, huh? Where was it? Feed? Header? Was it an app? It was somewhere. I missed it. Sidebar? Post? Not post? Feed? Not feed? Where else could it be? Not app. It's not in the app. Hmm. Oh well, that is all right. Let's see. Okay. It created this auth modal component again, which I don't have a good feeling about it, but let's see. So it does have some dummy content right off the bat, which is great. If I like something, oh, great. Now it's looking perfect. We have a beautiful looking login component. So username and password. Let's see. D Shuker Jr. That's my Twitter handle, by the way. Give me a follow if you like to. And let's hit login. And if I say hi in the comments, did that get posted? Yeah, nice. D Sugar Jr. says hi, which is great. It even created this icon uh, once I logged in instead of having that person icon right there. And I presume this is a log out button. Yep, it is. So that is great. And it's even presenting me the login screen, login modal once I click this person icon. And for sign up, there's username, email, and password. For login, there's username and password, which is great. Yep, but if we want to connect Supabase authentication to this, we will need to change the login form from username password login to a email and password login. So let's do that. Looks great. Update the login form to take an email and a password instead. What else can we fix? We're really at a very solid point, aren't we? I'm pretty happy with what we have right now. We can almost get started with creating the actual application. I mean, creating the actual application with the backend. So there's the user. So this is the, okay, auth model. So we have the user model, which is coming in from types. Where's the types? Oh, there's the types. Okay, so there's a comment, post, and user model. Great. So we'll probably be, I was thinking if we can use the Supabase generate types, but maybe that'll complicate things. Maybe not. Okay. Yeah, no, don't store that password. So, okay, we can create a post. We can sign in. If we try to post a comment, it'll prompt me to sign in with email and password. If I try to sign up, there's username, email, and password, which is awesome. Yeah, at this point, I think we are ready to connect Supabase to this application. So let's let's do that. Let's see, where can we get started? So let's actually go ahead and create a new Supabase project. You can go create a new Supabase project by heading to database.new. Easy to remember, right? And here you can choose the organization, give it a project name, bolt.new. I'm just gonna use that. We can generate a password. We're not going to use this password for now, and you can always recreate it or overwrite it if you lose it. So I'm not gonna copy it either. For the region, just choose a region that's close from you. I live in Tokyo, so Tokyo region is the closest to me. Or for the region, you can choose the region that's close to your users, actually. If you're targeting some users overseas, then yeah, you probably want to choose a region that's close from your users instead of yourself. So while Supabase is cooking in the background, we can get started with adding Supabase. Let's see. I'm trying to think how ambiguous I should be with this. Let's start with authentication, cause that's pretty much the entry point, right? So, let's see. Add Supabase authentication. Is this gonna do it? Is this too little information? I feel like anything beyond this is too much information. So if a decent person who understands how Supabase auth works should be able to handle adding Supabase auth with this prompt, and it's using Supabase JS, which is great. It's got it correct. It's not messing with with any of the server-side rendered stuff. This is plain React application, so there's no server-side rendered by default anyway. But yeah, sometimes it tries to be fancy and tries to add Supabase auth helpers or any of the server-side rendered libraries, which is fine, but we don't need that right now for this application. So I'm happy with what bolt.new is cooking for us. Yeah, let's check on our Supabase project. It has okay, so it's still preparing, which is fine. Now we haven't passed the Supabase credentials to this project yet, so it's not connected by it, but I guess we can do that, huh? So you can hit this connect button, choose your app framework. In case we are using React, and I believe it's using V, right? Yeah, it's using V. So copy this credential over and we should be fine. And let me just close this cat window. So it's done generating everything. Great. Let's see. I'm guessing it has a blank white screen because it cannot initialize Supabase. So here are the Supabase credentials. Let's see if that does it. And earlier when I worked on a different application, it was able to probably store those variables in an environment file, and it's able to do that as well right here. It's able to create a .env file, and it's storing it right there, which is the correct way to go. And these two values, Supabase URL and anon key, if you don't know, are meant to be shared publicly. So it's fine that these credentials gets leaked on the front end. It's meant to be leaked. It's meant to be used by the client. It's meant to be accessible by everyone in the world. And as long as you implement proper authorizations using row-level security policies, nothing is in danger. And let's figure out what's going on, why the application is not loading. Okay, I can't really find anything wrong with this, so let me try to refresh the page. And I have a feeling that it might have something to do with the environment that it's running on. See, there's no error whatsoever. So, okay, so there are some problems. The reference dump post is not defined. Dummy post is not defined. Okay, fix problem. Let's do that. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm just gonna let AI handle all the problems and deal with it. Guess the dummy post variable got lost in the transition maybe. We still have some problems. Less problems, but some problems. Can I read properties of undefined reading ID? Let's just keep pressing, solve problems and see if it does the trick. So which one is it? We have the type error in the app.tsx. Property of reading ID of undefined. Has to do something with user IDs, huh? So, okay, well, it was able to solve the issue just like that. Let's see if we can sign in. So we don't have an account yet. So let's see. Yeah, let's do that. For this demonstration, we're just gonna turn off email confirmation on our Supabase authentication just because we don't really need to deal with emails. So turn off confirm email, and that should do it. And then let's just create a dummy user account up here. Users, add user, and create a new user. So I'm just gonna use Tyler at Supabase.io. Password, I'm going to use password, auto-confirm user yes, and I'm probably gonna get a warning from Google. Yep, that was a horrible password. I swear I will not use that in a actual application. Supabase.io and pass, am I signing up? No, let's log in, and password is password. So login. Yep, I'll change the password, I swear. But I think I'm signed in properly. Looks like it at least. So let's say I am signed in. Let's see if I can get something going. So what's gonna happen if I post hi? Probably broke something. Oh, okay. So it's still hard-coded my username, I think, right? It's certainly not coming from the database. So I don't know where this Tyler name came from, but I think it's coming from one of the past attempts, or maybe it's just taking the, whatever string is before the at symbol. So, okay, yeah, it's working great. I'm pretty happy with what I have so far. So now at this point, we should create the database. Yeah, let's create the table definition. Okay, so generate the SQL file to be loaded on a Supabase instance to run this application. Is that good enough? And one thing I should have done is I should have created a trigger for the users table that populates the public.users table once a user signs up. So we have a public.users table, we have a public.post table, comments table, likes table, and what else do we have? We have update at. Okay, so a trigger to update the update at column, the function to update the update at column, and then trigger to update the update at column, and trigger to update the posts.update at column. What else do we have? Is this create a trigger to automatically update the update on column before update on posts? Are these two same functions? Oh no, one is users, one is posts, right? Okay, and then there's the comments. So yeah, all those tables needs an update on the updated column. It's creating row-level security policy without me telling it to do so, which is great. So the users are publicly accessible. Users can be updated if the auth user is the user. The posts are publicly accessible. Posts can be inserted if the role is authenticated, which is, we're gonna need to update that one because with this policy, anybody could be impersonating anybody. So we should instead have something similar to this where auth.uid equals the user ID of the post table, which I believe there is, right? Post table has a user ID column right there. So yeah, not sure why you missed that, but yeah, close enough. Pretty good. And then post update using, yeah, so we pretty much need this right here as well. And then post delete, yeah, users can delete their post. Comments are publicly available. Comments, again, we kind of need to update that as well. Using, and then likes can be accessed by anybody. Same thing right here. Likes table also has a, where did the likes table go? Post ID, user ID, right? So yeah, only the user, the auth.u ID should match the user ID that's trying to insert the like. But that's all right, close enough. And it's also creating a bunch of indexes to, for scalability, which is great, which is great. It did a whole lot more than what I expected without me telling it much about it. Now I don't want to screw this up. I want to give it the proper prompt to take care of this, updating the policy. Looks great. Just a minor fix the insert policy should look at the user ID and compare it with the auth.uig result, just like the update or delete policy, so that malicious users cannot impersonate other users. Hopefully this does it. But yeah, once we have this, I guess we don't have the trigger to automatically update the username or the avatar URL. But I guess that's all right. That's all right. I have a feeling that the application's kind of taking care of that in a nice way. So, hmm, let's see. Let's check everything. So, okay. Public users, create users, select users, update users, view posts, insert. Okay, so yeah, it looks like it fixed it, which is great. Now we need a trigger to update the user table. So the idea is once a user is created, there should be a new role inserted in the public.users table, which populates the newly created user's row. ID should be taken from the author users table, and then username should be taken from the metadata, which is common pattern that we do when we build applications using Supabase. But just double checking that didn't create the trigger for the public.users table, right? Creates users table, and that's it. Creates users table, and then these are just taking care of updated columns. Okay, great. So let's tell it that looks great. Just one last thing with the SQL file. There should be a trigger function and a trigger that takes care of inserting new users into the public.users table. Take the username from the metadata. It's in metadata. What column was it? So we have within the users table, let's go to table editor and we can view the auth schema, and then we can open the users table. Now within this users table, we can view every single column that's available on this auth.users table. And somewhere in here, we have the raw user metadata column. Can I copy this? Yep. So username from the raw users metadata. Wait, was there? Yeah, okay. Meta underscore data. Take the username from the raw user metadata column. This should be good, right? Yeah. Now, once this trigger is done creating, we can probably copy all these SQL files into our Supabase project. And that's kind of it as far as setting up our Supabase project goes. I was going to, oh, well, I forgot about storage, which we'll take care of later. But that's all right. We'll come back to this. For now, let's just set up authentication and database and try to make sure that everything works properly. So let's see. Let's see if it created the trigger nicely. So, oops. Updated column. That's good. That's good. Create a function to handle new user signups. So it's creating a database function that returns a trigger. It inserts into public.users and it's taking the newly created user's ID. It's, yeah, finding the username from the raw user metadata column, and it's also finding the avatar URL, which might not be available in our case, but that is all right. It also created a default image URL, which, yeah, it's kind of nice. Let's keep that in there. And then it's setting the sugar. I think that's good. I think that's great. Let's copy this over to Supabase project, go into the SQL editor, and let's just paste it and run it. In success, no rows returned. That is great. I think we got our tables in there. If you go to public schema, we have the comments, likes, posts, and users table. Now I'm gonna have to go back and recreate the user because the trigger didn't run in my case because I had the user already created. Or, yeah, I'm just gonna be lazy and create the user just manually right here. So let's insert a row. The ID is this one. Username is dshuker junior. Again, give me a follow on Twitter if you like. And hit save. Great. Now let's go back to our application and let's see, where can we start? Let's start by removing the dummy posts and then connect the add button compose modal to actually post on Supabase. So get rid of the initial dummy data that is hard coded in the app and load the list of posts from Supabase. Also, when the user, or if I just say something like connect to Supabase database, it might just do the work, do the magic. So let's try that. Let's see. Remove the dummy data and connect to the Supabase database to load. I feel like if I include the dummy data thing, it's just going to do the post and not take care of the comments and stuff. So connect to Supabase and load and write data from the Supabase instance. Let's see if this does it. Unknown error. That's fine. It happens once in a while. Let's just submit it again. I'm guessing it's high traffic. It's a nice tool. I love bolt.new. It's working great. Everybody should be using it, so I'm not surprised. So yeah, it's writing queries, it's loading the users table to get the currently signed in users data, which is great. It's getting the users data. It's also getting the users data down here as well. Not sure what that is, but that's all right. Check session. That's fine. And then it's loading the posts. It's getting the posts table, and then it was also getting the, where was that at? Feed? No, that's not feed. Is it app? Yeah. So it's loading the posts. It's also loading the users, and it's also loading the comments and likes, which is great. It's loading all the data that it needs in order to show the feed. It's also inserting data. Wow. Just wow. It's able to take care of all the small bits in one shot, just like that. Just like that. So let's see. Let's try it out. Am I signed in? I'm not signed in, am I? Yeah, let's sign in. Tyler at supabase.io. Password. Oh no. I'm not signed in, am I? Didn't delete the data, right? There is tyler.supabase.io. There's the users row for me. Let's see if there is any errors in the console. Let's see. password. Okay, so authentication succeeded. So yeah, I was able to sign in. So I guess it's a application issue. Let's see. Let's try to fix that. Let's try to take a look at what might be going on first. I know I said I will be trying to building this application without writing a single line of code, but that doesn't mean we cannot go into the code to inspect what's going on. So yeah, once the user submits the form, it comes here, right? Handle submit, prevent default. If is sign in. So if it's not a sign up, where's the closing bracket? Oh, right here. Okay, if it's a sign in, it calls sign in with password, and that succeeds. Then if user data.user, so if we get a user object back, then we create a local user variable using the, okay, so username is just the string before email, which is fine. We can always fix that later. It gives you an avatar URL as well. That's kind of it. An on login is called. An on login. It's gotta be in feed, right? Not feed, app. In app. So auth modal. On login, handle login. Which is right here. Okay, so set current user to current user, hide the modal. It looks like it should work, right? And I was able to sign in. So, let's refresh it. Give it another try. Tyler at supabase.io. Password. Login. No luck, huh? Well, let's see. Upon a successful sign-in, it seems like the login modal is not going away. Fix it. Let's see if this does it. All the code seemed fine, so not sure what exactly was the cause. Maybe there's some kind of disconnection between the, what was it, is authenticating state and the actual modal being displayed or not. But yeah, not sure what is going on, but that's okay. We can always come back, fix things. Okay, add it on close call after successful on close. Yeah, see, not sure if that's correct, but it's working earlier. Press login. Nothing, huh? What if I just enter a random password? Is it gonna give me, okay, so invalid login credentials. So I was able to properly sign in, right? Let's double check again. So if we inspect, go to network, press login, I am able to sign in. Yep, I get the proper response back. Upon successful sign in, no state is being updated on the app. This seems like a bug. Fix it. And maybe if this doesn't do it, we can dig deeper into the code, see what exactly might be the cause, and try to fix that. So app.tsx, check session, use effect, sign in, fetch user data. I wonder what these user data is used for. Set current user data. Auth modal. Okay, let's try out the application first. Okay, so Tyler at supabase.io. Password. Login. And we get nothing. Okay, let's dig deeper. So in the auth modal, we have, so upon handle submit, we handle login, we probably got that one. And then we are loading the user data here. And we are calling on login and passing the user object. And also calling the close modal method. Seems like it'll do the trick, right? If we go to app.tsx, we have the fetch user data, fetch post, handle like, handle comment, handle log in. There you go. So we have a user object. We set the current user and we set is auth modal open. Now let's see. So we have a is auth modal open state, right? So yeah, there you go. Okay, on login, that's fine. That's fine. Is this state being used somewhere? Is open, is auth modal open. Okay, so it is being used, right? It is being used. And it's what's opening this modal in the first place when we click this button right here. So that seems to be fine. Am I being trapped in a weird React, context something stuff? Okay, so we do see the sign-in request firing, but we don't see the user data fetching call happening. So we don't see this request being happening. Okay, so the issue is probably here. In this if statement, it's saying that if the data.user is present, it'll proceed with the rest of the call. I believe if we take a look at the response, I believe it's data.session.user, isn't it? So oh no, there is a user object. Okay, I was wrong. I was wrong. So there should be a user object right here. Well, you know what? Let's I said no code. Well, okay, fine. I give up. Let's write some code. Console.log and let's console out this I guess data. And let's take a look at what this does. Console, delete everything, hit login. Actually not to, am I supposed to hit refresh? Okay. Tyler.supabase.io and password. Login. Well, if data.user is present, then, okay, forget it. Let's ask AI to write some code to verify the behavior. So print the results of sign in with password in the console. If there's an error, check handle. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Let's start from there. For some reason, this piece of code is not being executed, and I generally don't know why. Okay, let's see. We try to log in, Supabase.io, password, hit return. Let's see what we have. See, is it not logging anything? Did it not do anything? Auth modal. We get that. Sign in result, debug log, which is great. Or does it get displayed somewhere else? Preview, hit login, code. Okay, so I feel like it has to do something with the on-off state change listener. I've encountered this specific bug before, but let me try to fix it. So if we go back to the app auth modal, we are loading the user's data within this modal. So that means we don't necessarily need to fetch the user data within this app.tsx file. We can just set the user from the data that we get within the auth model. That means we can probably get rid of this entire on-off state change, or at least we can get rid of this fetch user data part, because what is this fetch user data doing anyway? It's only fetching, the users and then setting the current user and stuff. So yeah, we don't need that. So let's try to get rid of that. Remove the fetch user data call within on-auth state change of app.tsx file. Also remove the fetch user data function definition altogether, because we won't be needing them since we get the user data from the auth modal.tsx file. I believe this bug has something to do with the React context and the on-auth state change callback. Okay, so we don't have a on-auth state change anymore. If the event is sign out, do that. If it's set current user to session. Okay, so in that case, I'm just going to current user. Current user is what? Okay, maybe we did it. Maybe we made it. Password, login. Okay, so we were able to log in. Yeah, not exactly entirely sure what the cause was, but yeah, the great thing is we are now signed in and we should be able to compose a new post. So let's say cute cat, and I got rid of the cat images, but we can come back here, get this cute little guy, and paste the URL right there. And there you go. We have a nice Instagram post. Now, what's cool about this is hopefully the post is actually persisted on Supabase database. So if we go back and refresh the page, it's still there. It's still there. Let's like it. Let's comment on it. He is so cute. Post. Go back to our database. Look at the likes. We do have a like, and then look at the comments. And we do have a new comment being inserted. That is great. Can we unlike this post? We can. Wow. It works like a charm. Now, okay, finally, let's take care of the image uploading feature. Right now, we don't have a profile image, and when we compose a post, we have to paste the image URL, which is not how Instagram works. Obviously, we're able to upload an image instead of copy and pasting URL from somewhere on the internet. So let's start By asking AI to set up Supabase storage. Great. We want to use Supabase storage to store the image uploaded from the user. Update the code so that instead of users can choose to upload an image from their device. Also create SQL to set up Supabase storage. Let's see if this does the job. Maybe I should have split it into two separate chats. I feel like generally when we try to fill too many things at the AI, it tends to do a poor job. But let's see how it works. Sometimes it works great and sometimes it doesn't. So, and we can always go back. That's a great thing, right? Okay, so it's writing the schema.sql file again with all the same things. I guess it deleted whatever we had earlier. And now, yeah, let's see. Something happened to the app.tsx file, right? Rest of the file remains the same. Yeah. Let's, you know what? Instead of having it fix the problem, yeah, let's roll back. Let's roll back and let's do things one at a time. Write SQL file to set up Supabase storage. Okay, so it's inserting a new row into the buckets table, which creates a new bucket in Supabase. And then it's creating rollable security policies where users can upload images to the user uploads bucket where auth.uid is equal to the owner, which seems fine. Same with the update and delete. And what else is going on? Yeah, it's giving public access to all the files, which is fine for this particular use case. All the images in our app are meant to be public, so that's fine. And then function to handle deletion when post is deleted. Okay, so when the post is deleted, it also deletes the object from the storage, which is fine. Yeah, we don't necessarily need this part because the actual file itself isn't deleted with this piece of code. We can also implement a proper implementation where if the post is deleted on the database, we can subsequently delete the actual file from the storage. We are probably not going to go that far in this example. So let me just take this and run it in a SQL in the Supabase SQL editor. Let's hit run. Looks good. Let's go to storage. We have a user uploads public bucket, which is great. Now let's see if, I guess the rest of the code hasn't changed. So, okay, let's update the code now. So it looks great. Now the user should be able to upload an image from their device to create a new post. Okay, error occurred, which is fine. I think the AI is just being busy right now. I have a feeling that bolt.new uses Claude in the background. And actually, we can probably find that out because bolt.new is open source. You can find the source code on GitHub. It's all public out there. But yeah, earlier when we had that, the rest of the code remains the same on the app.tsx file. I feel like that's a code generated by Claude. I think Claude does that, where it kind of wipes out a certain file and says, keep the rest here. which is doing it right here as well. So this is going to, yeah, this is going to mess up the thing. I feel like app.tsx file is becoming too big for the app to be able to handle it. Okay, so in this case, I guess the option is to split the app.tsx file into smaller files. So let's see. Or let's try something else. Let's see if we can ask bolt.new to go back and fetch the code from a few steps back to replicate the app.tsx file. So let's see. The app.tsx file now is missing some code that used to be there. Can you fill it with the same code that used to be there? And this particular part, handle add post. Okay, so now it's going. Hopefully it can complete the entire app.tsx file. Okay, maybe this was a good idea. Maybe it is working out. But at some point, you'll run into token limit, right? And that's when it's kind of when you have to kind of go around and kind of work around this limit that kind of exists right now. Okay, so there is some issues. Let's try to fix it. But yeah, I feel like ultimately we have to split each files into smaller components so that AI can handle it. And usually that's a better idea. That's a good idea even if you're writing code by hand as a human being. You shouldn't write that long of a file anyway. But yeah, error objects, yeah, I'm just gonna do fix problems. Maybe do this a few more times. If it doesn't look like it's gonna work out, then I'm gonna try to split the app.tsx file into multiple smaller files. But let's see how well it can actually automatically fix these issues. Okay, that looks good. Is it rewriting the app.tsx file again? Okay. Wow. Wait, what? There's only one problem. I feel like there's a lot of problem here, but yeah, okay. Let's go back a few steps and try to fix this. Let's see. Now the user should be able to upload an image from their device. Okay, yeah. So roll back to this point. And let's try to split the app.tsx file into smaller components first. Not exactly sure how exactly I should be going about doing that. But can I do this? Can I just be like app.tsx file is getting too long. Split it in multiple smaller files. Let's see if that does the trick. So it seems like it's still retaining a lot of the code that it used to have. Oh, maybe not, maybe not. It's doesn't have all the different methods that it used to have. Okay, so it's now creating a use auth hook, which is great. Use post hook, which is also great. Which I feel like is the way to go, like proper React way to go. Another step further, I guess, is implementing proper state management using something like React Query or something like that. But not sure if we'll go that far in this particular video today. I think we are really close to being done. Okay, so great. So we have a leaner looking app.tsx file. Now, let's see if we can add upload to storage. So, looks great. Now, the user should be able to upload an image from their device when creating a new post. Yeah, so the idea was we split up the large app.tsx file into multiple files, multiple smaller files. And now that there's some rooms for the AI to kind of work around, we can ask the AI to update the form so that it'll accept a file type input, and then we can upload that to Supabase storage, get the file URL, and display it in the list of posts. Not sure why comment is being any right here, but okay. Let's see. We are running into errors, huh? I feel like at this point, those errors are being caused because we are running into some kind of token limit. So the rest of the code remains the same token limit. What? Let's see. Let's see if we can fix the problem by pressing fix the problem. What is it doing? So it's fetching the posts. Okay. I can see that it's writing a whole lot more code than what it used to have. It's looking like it has all the right code, necessary code that it needs. And is this the final version? Okay, wow, it fixed it just like that. So let's see, create a new post. Okay, so we can try to upload. So yeah, we can select this nice looking Supabase logo that I took of a few days ago. And let's just say Supabase post and uploading. And there you go. Okay, so we have image being uploaded. If I refresh the page, which I shouldn't have refreshed the entire thing. I should have just pressed this refresh icon, but that's okay. At least the application is in working state. While that's loading, we can verify that the image was actually uploaded by reloading our bucket. And there you go. We have the Supabase image right there. And there you go. We have a working application. So now at this point, we can, I guess, work on sorting out the user profiles and stuff. And yeah, I guess we can go that far, but at this point, it's just a matter of like adding a bit more code to handle, user profiles and image uploads and whatnot, which is more or less the same as what we've already kind of gone through, right? We have a working image upload feature and working handling database changes and all the components that's required to make this application working. The great thing about this is that you can open this project in StackBlitz. So you can just click this button to open in this nice IDE that they have going on. And you can connect this to your GitHub account, which means you can easily open this project in GitHub or clone it locally so that you can keep on adding stuff using other IDs, for example, Cursor. So yeah, it makes it easier for the handoff process of like kind of getting started with your application using AI and then eventually completing the project either by yourself or maybe you need to outsource it, but either way, by a different engineer. So that was one key feature that was kind of missing to all the other AI agents, right? You can get started with the application on the AI agent, but you kind of had to always copy and paste your code into your project. Then you had to know where exactly to copy and paste it, otherwise it wouldn't work. Whereas bolt.new, it has all the project files right there for you. So there's no need to having to figure out where exactly to copy and paste certain files or certain piece of code. It's just right there for you. So it makes it easier for you to just hand it over to a different engineer or yourself, which is great. So I think this is a great point to stop. We have a great looking Instagram app that's working, and I know that we can continue working towards completing it, but that's just a matter of adding in more different features. But yeah, we've already covered adding a basic authentication, handling database queries, submitting data to the database, and handling files using Supabase stores.